So, hi everyone. Today is about other mental model that we have been trying to apply them, obviously by understanding it, and also they can be useful in the ways that they have ability to be used, that are mainly in problem solving, and obviously as someone that I've been said like a statement, I think you're kind of exponentially more well paid as much more you have like ability to be a problem solver. And then so I already expect you to help me by subscribing and seeing other videos possibly. And then so what's going to be the mental model that we're going to talk today is going to be the one that says that the map is not the territory. And what is the importance of this mental model? What he thinks that it reads. So the best way to start understanding it, this mental model, is by you answering probably this question: have you ever made a decision based in what you thought was truth, only to realize later that reality was completely different? So basically, it's trying to understand that sometimes we tend to behave and we tend to follow our life always and following like a map that we have, but we have to understand that obviously the map is not the same as the territory, because the map is a representation about what we tend to perceive that the reality is. But reality is just one. We have objective truths and we have subjective way to see them. And neither of these like our ability to be bees that we don't wanting to believe and kind of actively not trying to get what so, and not like disbelief of what is reality. Sometimes we do a work of we don't neither have like depending of our bad type of ability to judge and understand what's real. Other times we have like the sensibility to understand what is real, because obviously exists so much information being generated each second, then obviously we're not able to get hold them, and then so we are not able to understand everything that exists. What we can focus is understand that what we try and we actually seek as information, or we not actively, but what happens that we have assessed, we having the ability to make interpretations in a good way. And that's why I have made a series talking about the pieces, because the main pieces that I've talked are like all the ones that you are exposed to information and you filter. I'm not trying to fight you and say that you have to know everything, but what you seem that you have to know and what are the information that happens in your life, you absorb them right. That's why survivorship was useful. You understand what survivorship helps you understand when you see like a relatory talking about also how the companies that are successful, that have successful they are. You so now can look, and instead of trying to say, oh, everyone seem, I see a pattern, every one of them have like CEOs that were banned, but but so working, and I've talked about survivorship, what will be your day to deal with that? We'll also look for all the companies that were not to see, and then so if this pattern happens, so if so gonna happen the opposite, so being just women in the as CEO of the company, which so will not happen. You'll see that a lot of men are as well, or were CEOs of companies as well, which also already cuts your perspective of thinking that a man being a CEO is something that you need to be successful. So the understanding this is already one thing that helps you to not so fall in the beast ways that human beings sometimes tend to be. That so creates bad decision making, because we create bad assumptions that don't have like a match with what happens in reality. And that's why this mental model is important to be understood as the best ones, as understanding opportunity cost, as understanding first principles inversion, and other ones to solve problems. The map is not a territory, it's a reinforcement that some assumptions that we have, as much as our brain obviously having a good intention, because obviously it wants to survive, and then to survive, what will be deal you to survive as much you get so information and knowing everything about the environment. Sometimes it's just your lack of ability to so understand reality, and then so sometimes you can create misunderstandings then, or just because you're not able to get informations, all the ones that exist or the ones that are presented to you you not have a good ability to solve, and this is mainly so caused, as I said previously, by you being and suffer with some bits. And then so now that I've explained what those the map is not the rhetoric mean, maply simplify things, just like mental models, belief or theories. They help us navigate, but they are always incomplete or distorted. So these type of mental models that I talk are like things that are useful because are like blocks that you can use to structure your thing. But you have to understand that they're alone. They don't. They're not like the predictors of all the things that can happen. They're not mental models, beliefs, or theories. It's just like interpretations. There's some type of teeny things that we get from reality that so it can be useful to you to drive posteriorly in your soul problems and all your follow on life that you have to that you're gonna so face it. But obviously you understand that they're not deterministic of what's so gonna happen in the future. They're slightly better put you in a position to be have like a likelihood to, if you accept them as things that are true, then evidence to be true, are things that I've like registered and were taken as mental models because they were patterns that we see in people that have adopted first principles, similar people that have so high ability to solve problems, people that adopt like circular competence type of thinking, have adopted inversion as well to solve problems, circular competence to so understand where they should put their attentions on, opportunity cost mental model, and so helps people to be that their decision makers and where to spend time. They're mental models. They're not always gonna make you generate clear responses. They're not always be something then gonna make you have the best decision, even because they need data. So your serial competence is a mental model, but it needs data. It needs data that you sometimes have misunderstood. So serial competence talks about what? Talks about you and choose and understanding. So where you go, where the best, where you have a comparative advantage, and then so you work on that area because you are exponentially more well paid as much better you are in your header. And if you're one of the best, you're exponentially more well paid than other ones that are just slightly worse than you, but by not being the best, they receive much less. And then so what you have to understand is this serial competence is a pattern that we registered. It's data, but the data that you gonna so feed you to apply the serial competence for your life, for example, serial competence, it requires you to understand where you better, if you're better or not in than other ones in one specific area. It works with that. It works with judgment. What determines me if I'm better in football than other ones? Probably so. Some misunderstandings can happen because the data that I receive, got like a better pass, a better receive than other ones. Seems like I can run more than other ones, but it's data that sometimes is not clear. It doesn't have like this relation of cause effect by data being present time. So take already a conclusion. I can use the mental models to structure the data that I got, but neither always is that much easy so to generate that much good of data, then so you can work to take the best decisions even if you have like the best type of methodologies. As I said, reality is complex. You have a lot of information to get overloaded with. What you have to get is probably gets the enough way the enough ones type of mental models that helps you so to structure your reality and so build your beliefs. You having the first principles makes you a better in likelihood to solve much more problems than other ones, but even having them doesn't is the thing that guarantees that you're going to be a problem solver better than other one, because as I say, they're a representation of mentality to solve. Serial competence is a representation of what should be your perception of how you should spend time in develop skills or not, but they're not the reality itself. They're just a representation. It tends to make and have utility to you to have a higher probability to have a better drive in your life, but you have to understand that you not 100% have to fully fight in what they can say. And then so that's why mistaking the map for territory sometimes leads to bad decisions because we rely on outdated or incorrect information. That's what I have to say. The reality is not static. The reality change. What in the past was good to make rich was investing in fund stocks. Probably now updated will be better you to invest in other capitals as crypto or other type of instruments as ETFs that have emerged. What do you have to understand? What is not static? Your mental models that you apply have to be updated as much so as the reality develops. And then so someone tends to be more temporal than other ones. First principles than one that is a way to solve problem that I think is almost like go for infinite, but some other ones probably doesn't have so the same type of happy ending as some other ones have in terms of being having utility over time. We have seen like emergence of EA, how we're gonna adapt, so where you should spend our time. It's something that changes. And obviously we have real life examples from this mental model of the map is not the retard. In business investing, financial models predict market behavior, but they never capture reality perfectly. Relying too much on forecasts instead of real world data can lead to bad investments. Financial models, they are things that were kind of created by patterns registered in the past, but this doesn't mean that the past just gonna so predict what's gonna happen in the future. You have career and personal growth. Your resume is not your actual skill set. It's just a simplified version of your abilities. That's one of the best things that you can so present you this mental model, because your resume, you're gonna look, oh, you seem that you know everything of what so is put in your resume. But in reality, if it's asked you to solve problems, then some of this replication that people tend to have in resume, neither whole like 60% of things that you have it, you're gonna so be able to solve, and will be so predicted that you will be able to solve based in your resume. It's like one of the best representations of map is not the retardant. So, and then so how we solve it? Challenge your assumptions. Ask yourself, I'm relying on mental model or real world evidence. Be open to adjusting your beliefs. Mental models are useful, are like methodologies that can use theories that have to be shown, that have like a specific pattern to be kind of almost as a belief, but you understand that it's to be an iterative process, and we have to update, because they have and they exist you to make more prone to create best outcomes. But if the reality are saying that some specific model should not be applied in a certain reality, then so you should adjust yourself. You need to have plasticity. Look for contradictions if reality doesn't match your expectations. Question the map you're using it. So question your beliefs basically is that you have to be iterative process, that you have to change your beliefs based on what reality provides. So basically this mental model talks that you should not build a map and expect them to always be useful and not updating it. And so we have to be supportive, that we have to get much more plasticity than for example in the past, because even now the things are much more updated more quickly than were in the past. So we have to be a continuous learning, other than just like being a fixed mindset that you learn just a small type of age, and then so your learnings that you have got is going to be applied and always going to be useful for the long of your life. So I expect this video makes you a better person, and see you in the next one.